I've sent out 8 quote requests. This is a little controversial and actually squeezes them visions of losing your... You may be the person struggling to make your car payments every month. Hi everybody, I'm Kimberly and welcome to Auto Finance Sense, where I help you make sense of the dealership finance office the next time you buy a car. Let's get started. So, are you ready for the holidays? Me either. Let's get started. When you lease a vehicle, there's something called a money factor. The money factor, not to be confused with the residual value and sometimes called a lease fee, is essentially the interest rate that you're paying to lease this vehicle. And as a consumer, it's a smart idea to learn the financial implications of this number on your deal. The money factor is in a decimal form, and to convert it into a more understandable rate, just multiply it by 2,400. For example, if you ask the finance manager, what is the money factor on this lease, and they say it is 0.0036, multiply that by 2,400 with your phone calculator right there, and you're going to get 8.64, which is pretty high for a lease. During the negotiation process, when you're working on the OTD or the out-the-door price of the vehicle, and you receive a worksheet that shows you different payment options with different terms and mileages for the lease, and of course, you know what your credit looks like ahead of time, you can simply say, I know what my credit looks like. It's a tier 1 credit. So ask your sales manager to desk this worksheet or desk this deal showing me with buy rate money factor. Yes, the money factor is just like the interest rate for the finance manager because whatever comes over on your approval is the buy rate, and the finance manager can mark that buy rate up if they want to. That is one way that they make their money. Now, they may or may not provide you with buy rate money factor. But one thing that I can promise you is that they now immediately know that they don't have the average buyer in front of them. They have somebody that's actually dealership savvy and knows what they're talking about. This provides you with confidence, turns the tables to put you in control of your deal, and actually squeezes them instead of the other way around. So, find out what the money factor is on your lease, multiply it by 2,400 so that you have an idea of what the interest looks like. Number 2, this is a little controversial. I don't want to dissuade anyone from using email or the telephone when you're shopping for a car. But remember, dealerships know the advantage of doing business person to person. And I would like buyers to use that same philosophy to turn the tables and take control. With the exception of out-of-state deals, I think that buyers probably miss out on potentially great deals by simply choosing not to be at the dealership in person. I hear people all the time say, why won't they return my email? Why won't they call me back? They won't even text me. I've sent out 8 quote requests for their best price, and I hear the excuses as well. I'd rather have a root canal. I don't have time. I hate people. It takes too long. I'm afraid I won't understand. I'm an introvert. It's too much pressure. And so on and so on. Do remember, the same things can be tried in emails and phone calls too. So yes, I believe one thing keeping you from getting a good deal is actually being there in person and talking to them. Maybe you're afraid of the unknown whenever you get into the dealership, but trust me, they're going to find out real quick that they're dealing with someone who did their homework first, drop a few knowledge bombs like the MF bomb, which is the money factor bomb. A lot of people don't know what money factor is. A lot of people don't know what buy rate is. So learn a little bit of language at the dealership so that you're not that average guy. Surprise them. Number 3, DTI. What is DTI, you say? DTI is debt to income ratio and is the sum of your monthly debt payments divided by your monthly gross income, not your net income, but your gross income. Now, each lender has their own DTI guidelines, so they're all different, but the lower your DTI, the more favorable you look to that lender. If this figure is high, then to the lender, you may be the person struggling to make your car payments every month, which means lending you the funds to purchase a vehicle could be a much higher risk to the lender. Now, in the past, I've done a lot of loans for people with good credit that have had mid to high debt-to-income ratios, but it's not like that anymore. Again, all banks are different, but I do know that today, a lot of banks are looking for debt-to-income ratios to be 36% or below, and that's it. This is something that you want to know before you go. So how do you find out what your DTI is? Take your outgoing monthly payments and divide it by your gross monthly income. This will not be groceries and gas and incidentals on a monthly basis, but it will be your mortgage payment, your credit card payments, any loan payments that you have, including student loans, and your current car payment. Now, the lender will know if you're trading that car in or not once the finance manager structures the deal and sends it in for approval. So they take that into consideration. How do you get your debt-to-income ratio down? Pay down credit card and loan balances? Make more money? Or both? Number 4, something called loss aversion. Did you know that for some people, one of the biggest setbacks to getting a great car deal is psychological? With the concept of loss aversion, the pain of losing is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. Now, this might not be you, but you might have seen it happen at a dealership a time or two. When somebody loses their cool, it's easy to get really frustrated at the dealership. But I would say learn to calm yourself instead of loudly venting in an anger outburst or even rage on dealership employees. All you're doing is reinforcing your own negative thoughts, and it's no one's job but your own to pull yourself out of it. I know, I can hear you, but Kimberly, they did this to me, and they tried to do that, and they tried to trick me. But you knew better, didn't you? So all you have to do is get up and walk out of the door calmly. No one is stopping you from doing that. I get it. I know you feel, or maybe you have visions of losing your acting like a crazy person. I know that I have. But you win when you have restraint, which equals control. If you feel pressured, maybe you feel like you're not being respected or taken seriously, and things just feel like they're going sideways for you in the dealership, then I would simply and calmly say, this deal does not work for me, and for these reasons. Thanks so much for your time, but I'm going to head out. And then get up and walk out the door. They're more likely to bend and actually work a deal with you with that kind of demeanor. Dealership employees talk to other dealership employees. And when someone walks into a dealership with this loud, obnoxious, yelling, take them down kind of attitude, well, they'll be calling the other employees to let them know and to warn them about you. That is not conducive to getting a good deal. It's not going to help you at all. And indeed, it simply leads to the pain of losing. Do your best to gain the knowledge ahead of time, get prepared, be calm, and enjoy the pleasure of gaining. And number 5, not working on the OTD or the out-the-door price first can definitely keep you from getting a good deal. Even if you are working through email or phone calls or even text, the salesperson can still hit you with these questions of, well, how much will you be financing? What do you want your payments to be? How many months? How much money are you putting down? Well, those are not the questions that you need to be answering right then and there. You want to know, how much does the car cost? Let's work on the out-the-door price or the actual price of the vehicle with fees, taxes, tags, and title first. A question that I get a lot is, well, when do I tell them how I'm paying for the car? When do I tell them that I have outside financing or I'm paying cash? Well, here's what I would say, and go ahead and write this down if you want to. I would even take it with me, a little piece of paper, or put it on your phone. Don't be afraid to take that out and read it right in front of the salesperson if you want to. When I make a decision to purchase, I will be financing, but I've not decided if it'll be through a dealer or an outside source. But it will be with whoever has the best interest rate and terms for me. Right now, I'm not worried about the monthly payment, money down in terms of a loan. I'm simply looking for the final out-the-door price of the vehicle that you're selling. Now, you've already done your research ahead of time, and you've looked at vehicles online. Maybe you've used Car Edge, for example, who I love, to find a vehicle that you like. Use their out-the-door calculator. There are many resources online, auto loan calculators. Find out what your fees are for your state, for taxes, tags, and title. Plug it all in so that you have an idea of where you should be. Now, the dealership doesn't know yet that you've done all your research, and that's what you want. You will probably be met with high-pressure tactics if you go in there saying, well, I want my payment to be $500 a month. So what are the 5 things that could be keeping you from getting a good deal? Not knowing what your money factor is on your lease, number 1. Maybe not going into the dealership to do business person to person could hurt you, number 2. Not knowing what your DTI or debt to income ratio is first, number 3. Understanding the psychology, loss aversion, of losing your cool, number 4. And number 5, not working on that out the door price first before you discuss how you're going to be paying for the car, whether you're financing, leasing, or paying cash. As always, I simply want to help you, the consumer, through the car buying process, especially the second half, which is the finance office. So if you're out there this holiday season shopping for a new car, take a look at my other videos. They are here to help. Hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.